Like they don't even say like I love you, like nothing like that, you know.
Yep.
It's a completely different. So when I met her, I was like, this is a little frozen, right? You
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a block of ice here. You know, I gotta start chipping
Yeah.
a bit. You
Oh
know?
God, yes. Oh yes. The ice blocks frozen out. That's always a I'm
Because that's what,
punishing. Let me
yeah,
punish you.
and
Well,
that's what
that's
she's
my version.
learned, right?
That's my version. Yeah. And then culture wise, yeah.
Her dad was so emotional, unavailable for her
Yeah.
that
Mm,
that's what she reflected on her life,
that's right. And then as
and
much as
that's what she's missing, right?
yep, yep. And it's like missing, but ah, it's like there's a yearning for wanting something more, unsure what it is, and dealing with what they got.
Yeah.
Because like we all put a coping pattern in place, right, to resolve that uh, why we not getting what we wanting because we're not getting what we're wanting. So we cope with it. And that
Hmm.
cope becomes our automatic pattern, just part of who we are, how we see the world.
And it might be become like a say like an addiction, right? Like, oh, because I cannot get this from someone else, then like, oh, I'm gonna start eating chips, or you know, like I'm gonna satisfy myself with food.
Yeah. I'm going to cope with something. Yep.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable.
Yep. I'm going to dig at you. That's how I deal with it because I'm going to dig at you. Okay. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning.
Morning, Allison.
Morning, Pascal.
Oh, you sound good again.
I slept well. Thank
Mm.
you.
Nice.
Yes.
You
Mm.
came in the right time. We're done complaining about our wife.
Well, Pascal, I don't think it was blaming Pascal.
No, no, no. I was discussing, you know, open discussion.
No, no, it sure could be taken that way. Yes, I guess I'm doing just what they do, huh?
You're
I can,
mirroring.
I can just be right in here. I get to be right with you, Pascal.
Yeah.
But I like that vulnerability. You brought well, I started to become more vulnerable and people connected.
Mm.
Vulnerability is man, it is a tough one. It's layers, levels. It's vulnerable and authentic, right? Those two come together way deep under those layers, patterns that are we put it in place to cope with it.
And then there's trust, right?
Mm,
But I think authenticity is very much due to trust, put it that way. Trust in ourselves.
and like trust in something new, like different, like to try something different. Like it's not to be afraid of what that different outcome will be.
Mm.
Like
You know, for me, it's what I find interesting is that when you think of it, our process in intimate relationships is very similar then to the process that we have to do internally, which is also again repeated. How can I say this? So we do it internally with the different parts that we have of ourselves in being a personality. But then we've also got to be able to do that process in terms of going into our intuition and imagination and working with that into the higher self. Almost like dodging the ego all the time. You know, being aware where it shows up and quieting it down and then going again until you get to a certain level where it's like a muscle, I guess, where it's used to being there and it's not threatened anymore. And then you can then astro travel as you love to do. Hey, Pascal?
Yeah, I haven't done that yet, but
How do you know you haven't done
well, yeah, I've done it. Yeah,
it?
I've done it. I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, we do it all the time, you know.
Right. Every night, right?
Yeah. Now I just need somebody to help me to let go of things that I've got to let go of in my mood. Because my identity is not loose enough yet. Still turns.
you know, what I find interesting in that is, why do you need somebody?
Mm-hmm. Because I can't do it alone, Bessie. I've been trying.
Well, who's the somebody?
I have no idea. I can get as far as reimagining myself in my new home. And in that, I can reimagine not having to take care of so many things. And yet it's taking me ages to let go, especially my work stuff. And eventually I'm going to have to, because there just isn't space. I'll have one big bookshelf, and that's already full.
Sorry, I was dealing with like a garage door. Like it closed like 3/4 ways and it goes back up. And it did that about 10 times. And I'm like, okay, you know, like you can pull the cord and then like just drop it down. Well, this is like more like an industrial one. You can't do that. And then I'm like, what's going on here? I am just adjusting the sensors, like, right, like, ah, you know. So I missed a little bit of the conversation. I was in my head a little bit.
Figuring
you
out
get-
the puzzle.
Yeah.
Did you resolve it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Weird, but yeah. Eventually, like it's I guess because I became calm, you know, like I'm done messing with you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I give up.
Hmm.
Not gonna close.
Yeah, it was just strange. I've never experienced that before.
Amazing how something will always take all of our attention.
Mm.
It's like whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. And then it's like, of all the things, why did that pop into the front?
Yeah. I have to figure this out.
Hmm.
And it comes with all these stories, right?
Yeah, leave it better than you found it, right?
Yeah.
All the stories baked into the background of our situations, circumstances. That we've just conditioned ourselves to respond to, react to.
Mm. Even responding, right? Like I definitely think that it's better than like reacting,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still, you know, giving that energy there, right?
Mhm.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, sorry, yeah. In that way, you so.
But like it creates some space, right? Like responding, it's like, okay, well, I gave space and then like I act, right?
Yeah, so I think it like what becomes important then is that pause, which then is like, oh, that was what I was, that's my normal. And what could I do? It's like, oh, now all of a sudden there's a choice.
Yeah.
And really, it's like options, right? It's like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to respond when someone throws me a verbal bombshell? Or, is digging underneath my fingernails.
Or a wrench at your head.
Yep. Or telling me what to do.
Yeah.
What rules to live in. How to be
A good citizen.
Yeah. I was thinking husband.
I'm sorry, don't know why that is so funny.
Good afternoon, Heinz.
Oh,
Good morning, Alison. Good morning, Pascal.
Yeah.
hi, Heinz.
Your friend left?
Yeah,
Nice.
Did you have a good time?
yeah, I had a pretty good time.
Good.
Afternoon, Ian.
Afternoon, morning, everyone.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Ian.
Hi.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, talking about vulnerability. Ian is the king of that. He's our teacher.
Just come naturally to me. Oh, I don't know.
Mm.
But I think it's also because you hold the intention that you do have, that I've certainly experienced in wanting others to experience your love, or the love that you have.
Maybe unconsciously.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just things that we don't want, that we engage with unconsciously. It's also those parts of us that have this enormous value and beauty. And then as we grow, we can be more conscious of them. And we can work with them in a different way that I think is more powerful.
There's nothing more vulnerable than getting put naked in front of a load of people that you don't know.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And giving a speech, huh?
I went to conscious camp and I got butt naked in front of a load of people. I was like, she's looking at my ass. I just got in the water really quickly.
Morning.
Yeah, I still don't think I could stand up in front of a group and give a presentation naked. Thank God, I don't think anyone wants that. So, not my skill, not my talent.
They were doing skinny dip and everyone was naked, so I just did it. It was
Mhm.
scary, but yeah.
There's nothing more pure than that, right?
Hey, that's true. Yeah, true judgment. Give it to me.
Yeah.
But it's like a version of vulnerability, right? It's like, oh, really, what's going to happen? I just make up people are going to judge, I
Yeah.
just make up that that's not the standards of society. The rules, right? It's like breaking the rules. And if we think about it, it's like, why is there certain rules we'll break and there's certain rules we won't? And even at
Mm.
certain times. And yet we expect everyone else to follow the rules. I'll only do it when it works for me. Fascinating. How we think we're so logical and put together and under control, and it's not. I mean, when we begin to look at it, we see the insanity of it. The insanity of what we think is sane.
I feel like my vulnerability is like my superpower because it's just, yeah, the ability to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
I would like to share something, if that's all right. I
Nope.
went to meet my niece. Well, I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it anyway.
Good. That's what I want to hear.
I went to meet my niece the other day. She got adopted when I was three of them got adopted when I was 18. My sister had a lot of mental health issues, so she couldn't care for them. Anyway, we met the other day after 17 years. And it was not, I wouldn't say strange is a word, but as soon as I saw her, it was like no time had passed. And I felt the family, like the energetic connection, like the family energetic connection. We just clicked straight away. And it was like no time had passed at all.
Oh,
And we just talked open and honestly. And after she said to me that she felt so comfortable in my presence, and she said she felt the same, like no time had passed. It was really, I've never felt that before.
mhm. That's very powerful. Speaks to the connection that you, for me, it speaks to the connection that you had at the time.
Yeah, we were very close, and when we met, she said to me, because she didn't have a father, she used to think I was a father.
Mm.
So, and we were really close at the time.
Maybe you were in a previous life.
Mhm.
It was just like as soon as I saw it, it's like this, the last 17 years of not being in contact wasn't there. And I've never felt that before. So yeah.
Mm.
And she said she felt the same. So yeah.
Do you want me to leave that open? Yeah.
Human connection is such a powerful experience, isn't it?
If we allow it to be.
Mm-hmm. We allow the connection.
Yeah. That we see the person for who they really are.
And we allow ourselves to be what we really
Mhm.
are at that point in time. Right? Ah,
It's one of my true choices though, fun loving moments with family. So yeah. And then I got a Facebook message off her sister. So I think we're gonna meet up soon as well. So yeah.
that's good.
She just said she doesn't want to meet my sister, but she has good memories of me. So she wants to stay in touch with me, but she doesn't want to see my sister.
Mm.
Hmm.
And that's how it is for now. Yeah.
I just feel like I'm the one that's meant to help her. I don't know if heal's the right word, but heal the adoption part, because my sister didn't know who her biological father was out of two men. One of the potential fathers has got black hair, brown eyes, and he's got olive skin. And the other guy was blonde hair, blue eyes. And my niece has got blonde hair, green eyes. So I was like, it's obviously the blonde one because we're all dark. So I did a bit of investigating and I found a father for her, biological father. They met up. They did a DNA test and he said he was a father. So she said that really helped her know who she was
Mm.
because she really wanted to know where she came from. So I just feel like I'm the one that's meant to help her
Mm.
with the healing of the adoption. It just felt like a destined meet when I met her. It felt like it was already planned, and it just felt like this destined meet.
Mm.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
That was the word that hit me when you explained it. Was healer.
Mm.
Was what? Sorry.
Healer.
Yeah.
It's like you're healing the pattern between them. I was like, oh, and then you go right into it and gave even deeper, like more specific, like that. And it's like, oh, yeah. So, man, it was like that essence, right, was all around that story that I picked up on. Same word. That's cool. Synchronicities, right? I love when they come together like that.
And I also noticed a pattern which I told her about. Her biological father, his father was adopted, and then her sisters have got a different father, and he was adopted as well. And they're adopted, so there's like a pattern of adoption.
And, yeah, and like in that is not wanted.
Mm.
That's one of them that could be there. It's like no one, like adoption is, yes, that like someone's willing to take me in, but man, that damage of not being wanted, of feeling like trash being thrown out, that no one would want me, is deep before that. I mean, oof, I could not imagine.
I'm the only
Yeah,
one that did actually want them, so
like it forced the person to look inside, right? You know, when like there's no love in the exterior, then you're like, you know, that's how I think now. That's not how I think like when I was young. But if there's nothing out there, then you're like, what? Gotta look somewhere else, right? Be curious.
I think as we mature, we can do that. And I think that's the essence of life, right? It's like to get back there towards it, to like remove all of the roadblocks that we've put in our way, right? As we dealt with things as a child. I mean, is if we look at our patterns, there's not very, if we look at our woundings, right, there's only a couple ultimately that it boils down to.
It was just really nice because I feel that I helped to see that she was wanted by someone because I did a
Yes.
memory box for her. I put a birthday card every year. So there was like 19 birthday cards. I got some gifts and I did it all photos, all ancestral photos. I gave it to her and she said it meant a lot.
Yes.
And at the time I actually did want to adopt her, but because I was 18, social services said no, how are you gonna look after 3 kids at 18? What family support do you have? What you don't have a house, and they wouldn't let me. And she said to me that she has really good memories of me. And then she said to me, thanks for being a light in such dark circumstances. And that she only felt love off me. Yeah, and it was just a really special moment.
That is, wow, what a compliment from, even such a young person. Hmm. Just a demonstration of the size of your heart, as Allison said earlier. It's like you are just a heart full of love, and that's all you want. It's just, I've seen it from the very beginning. It's like just this huge, like mm, energy,
But
all of the energy of love.
she also helped me too. I got a
Mhm.
memory. At the time, I was like 15, 16. I was getting like really, really bullied at the time, like severe bullying. And I remember I went home to my mum's, I was really upset, but I kept it within myself. I didn't show it. I was really upset because I was getting bullied. And as I went home, my niece was there and she came up to me and said, I love you, and gave me a
Mhm.
big hug. And we fell asleep on a sofa cuddling, and it took all the pain away of being bullied.
Mhm.
So she said I helped her, but she also helped me
Mhm.
too. Her love helped me get through the bullying that I was going through, experiencing. Even though she was only 4 at the time, she helped me too. Her love helped me.
Yeah. Yeah, we can make good ones too when we try.
And I feel as well what she helped me to see was like at the time when she was with my sister, I was having such a hard time, but I was still able to show love no matter how I was feeling myself. I was still able to show love because that was the most difficult period of my life. And I didn't realize what impact I had on her at the time.
Yeah.
I was only 16 myself, 15, 16, 17. So
And how did you went through this difficult moment, this pain?
how did I what, sorry?
How did you go through this difficult moment or pain? Like, how did you
At the
cope with
time,
it? Yeah.
at the time. Honestly, I just didn't feel. I went numb. Like,
Mm.
I just didn't feel like if somebody bullied me, I just didn't fully feel it. It's like half of me left my body. So I was like half in my body. So I just didn't actually feel it because if I'd have felt it, all the pain, I don't think I would have been able to handle it. So it's like I didn't fully feel it.
Mm.
But I have been feeling it now. It's been coming back up to be felt. But now I'm able to feel it.
You're able to process it, right?
Yeah, but at the time I couldn't feel it because it was just too much. And I've also realized I wouldn't usually share this stuff, but I'm about you guys that there's a pattern between health and love with me. Because growing up, like I never got like growing up, how can I explain it? Growing up, I started losing all my body fat like in age 9 or 10. I used to be quite chubby, then I just started losing all my body fat and I went really skinny, like really, really skinny. And no one in my family noticed, no one took me to the doctors. I remember being 12 years old and going to the doctors by myself, like nobody noticed. And I felt so invisible, like I'm wasting away and nobody's noticing. I asked my mum once, and she said, I thought you were on drugs. And I'd be like, wouldn't that be more of a reason to take me at 10 years old and on drugs? Would it not be more of a reason to take me to the doctors? But I just realized because I didn't feel the love, it's related to health. Does that make sense? Like nobody noticed my health, so the health is related to love. Like I didn't feel the love that nobody would take me to the doctors, nobody noticed. So now I realize with my health, like there's just something with health and love that I'm noticing, like a pattern.
Yeah, it's almost like someone like make himself sick so they get noticed and they get taken care of, right?
I'm not sure, it's just like love is directly correlated with health. I've really been noticing it. And it's because when I was younger, I didn't feel the love like in terms of anyone being bothered around my health or anyone noticing.
And like what I've seen is a tendency in our humanity culture, our human culture, is that when people are sick, right, we give them attention. We give them, it's like and we can, as a child, can confuse that as the love we're seeking.
Yeah.
And so then it's just, oh, so we create a reward system, right,
Hmm.
for ourselves.
Yeah, because imagine if two parents are just arguing all the time, fighting all the time. But the only time they're not fighting is when you're sick.
Mm.
And then you get both of their love. And you're like, wow, this is it. I just got to get
But,
sick.
but even though I was sick, I never got the love. So that's the
Mm.
thing. I still
Mm.
didn't. So I went unnoticed. It was like I was invisible. But
Still with
I
it.
can't see a pattern there.
That's an extreme case.
Man.
Holy. Because even for me, like, I know, like, when I was like, oh, mom, I'm sick. I can't
Mm-hmm.
go to school, you know. She was like, okay, that's fine. I'll make you a little bowl of soup and I'm gonna do this. And then like, oh, great, great, you know. And then like you're almost like, oh, maybe I call in sick again, right?
Mm.
It becomes a pattern. I
Yeah.
didn't go through down that route, but you know, I took this probably time that like I were not like completely sick, but maybe it was an exam or something like that. I'd be like, oh, I'm sick today, you know. And it works. I'll send you my blueprint.
We'll download it freely. We'll download it
Yeah,
freely,
yeah.
Pascal.
As long as I got your email and I can send you some spam, right?
I'll download your pattern because, I just need more.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't seem that you have many left, so
Mm.
I'd like to think that.
Yeah, and I'd like to ask you how you felt when you made that connection.
I don't know. Mine was different because I look sick on the outside because I was so thin, but I actually didn't feel sick on the inside.
Yes.
Like I felt energized, I felt healthy when I was a kid. It's just because I lost my body fat, I didn't look it.
Yes.
So it's like the outward didn't match the inward.
Mm.
And like the more thinner that I went, the more I got ignored. Like the more weight that I lost, the more I got neglected because appearance was important to my parents and I didn't make them look good because I looked ill. So it was like, you don't make me look good, sort of thing. Whereas my brother does.
Mm. Fascinating. It's like we all have our specifics, right? And they all look different, but it's all about the structure. It's like we want something, we couldn't get it, so we put something in place. We justified why we were hurting, why we felt the way we did just as a child, trying to figure it out. I mean, when we were asking
mhm.
why do I feel this way?
I would make my mum look bad because people would be like, "Aren't you feeding your son?" Like people would think my mum's not feeding me, so I would make her look bad.
Oh, yeah, on top of that,
But
huh?
then I would get more ignored.
Yeah. I mean, yep.
but I can just see a connection between health and love, and like I can't fully see it, but I know it's there.
And it's interesting that in our pattern, the two things that we work with, one has to dominate, or that there's basically a codependence between the two things for us in our pattern. In terms of that, if the one flourishes, the other one can't. And so our task then is to be able to hold a container that's big enough for both. Just to be, and not to have to be dependent upon each other to exist. I said, I've never thought about patterns as having an element of codependence, but kind of made sense to me this morning.
Sorry, Allison, could you say that again?
Okay, so in our pattern, we usually have two main features or coordinates, that's a better word. Okay. So in what Ian realized with his pattern was that there was a connection between being ill and love and being loved.
Yep.
So what came to me is, as it often, the similarity just hit me in our patterns that the one coordinate and that there's a codependent relationship between the two coordinates.
Yep.
And so the one always has to dominate and the other one always has to be submissive.
Yep. Yep.
And
They
so to
flip-flop.
resolve it, yeah. And so how do we resolve it? And for me, the resolution is there were two. First one was to make enough space for both to be, not have to dominate each other at different times. But to continue with that expansion and let other things be at the same time as well. And when we think about codependent relationships in marriages and in intimate relationships, part of the problem is that they can't let go of each other
Yes.
because they
So-
can't include anybody. They can't think to themselves that anybody else could maybe love them differently.
And
I
as
couldn't
you,
really hear that, Alison, but thank you. It was really hard to hear, but thank you. I heard bits of it, but thank you.
You're so welcome. Again. I think we all struggle with this, just in different, to different degrees, as Jessie would say. Sorry, Jessie, you were about to say something.
yeah, I was, it's like that's that's when the double bubble process works really well, right? To see that both of those ends, right? Both of those patterns, they want the same thing.
Yes.
That's why it's unresolvable. That's why it will never resolve. That structure that we put in place will never resolve because we never let anything in. It's only those two options. And they're opposites of each other. So it's like, oh, this is what I want. And then it's like this, I'm going to avoid what I don't want. It's like, oh, this is what I want. And I'm going to avoid what I don't want. And it's like, really, you're only giving yourself one option.
So it's the pattern love and health. Because
Yep.
I did a double bubble around it.
Yep.
Because what I've been seeing is, yeah, it is genetic. So I know I chose it before I was born. It is genetic, but I do believe that I chose for it to express itself the way it did because there's other people with my, I'll say mutation because yeah, that it didn't come out till they were in their 20s, but mine came out at age 10. So I do believe that, yeah, I chose it so it would have come out regardless because of DNA, because I chose that before birth.
Yep.
But I do believe I chose it to come out so young.
Yep.
Like I believe that I can control the expression of the gene, and I chose it to come out really early. Like I believe now I can make it more dormant, and I've got the power to make it more dormant. But I just believe that something around love, so I chose for it to express itself at an earlier age. Does that make sense?
And it's
Because mine
amazing.
came out really young, like mine came out really young, and other people that I've read about, not that I'm comparing, but like it didn't come out till they were 20. So sorry, Alison.
No, I was just thinking how powerful that intention is that you can add to the dormancy of it. In other words, you can change the trajectory of it. It's so powerful. Yes, I just have to mute myself for a minute.
It's just come to me. When I was younger, I didn't get seen by my parents, and I thought, oh, not neglect. So my unconscious, like, if I express the symptoms earlier, I'll be seen. So I started losing my body fat, and because I still wasn't seen, my unconscious was like, lose more body fat to be seen, and I still wasn't seen. It was me wanting to be seen. So that's why I turned it on at an earlier age. Because if I lose my body fat, they'll see me and I'll be loved. But then because I didn't receive the love, I was ignored. My unconscious like lose more. To the point where I do look like I'm on drugs. So I'll be seen and I still wasn't seen. Because I thought I'd be loved. Wow.
And so we make things more extreme. right? We double down, we dig in, and we make it more extreme.
Oh, I actually did it to myself. Wow. Because I wanted my parents to love me, I wanted them to see me. Wow.
I mean, just as you say that, I can relate, and it's like almost, it's like I wonder, it's like almost at the core of all of it is just this child that wants to be seen,
Be loved.
right? Another
That's
version, same
that's
thing,
the
yeah.
core, right? Like,
Yeah.
because that's what we are.
Mhm.
When you're telling it, Ian, it
So
sounds
we,
like your body reflected your feelings. You felt invisible and it loses body weight. Try to mirror your feelings.
Wow, I feel like I'm gonna cry because yeah, I just see it now. Like I can see that I did it to myself. Because I want to be loved and seen.
But it made you
I'm still
strong.
not getting
It gave you an
Mhm.
understanding of love many people won't even get in their entire lifetime.
True.
hmm
Because you
yeah,
know exactly what you don't want. You know the opposite of love, which makes you very known with love.
Oof. It's like mum and daddy don't see me, so I'll lose my body fat. You still don't see me, so I'll lose more body fat. You're not, I'm going to the doctors on my own and not noticing me, so I'll lose more body fat. And they're still not noticing me because I'm going on my own to the doctors. I'm still not seen. And I'm only seen in a negative light, so it's like I'll lose more body fat. I know I'm seen in a negative light and I'm bullied, but I'm still seen, even though it's negative, I'm still seen. So then being seen in a negative light was normal because it's like I'm still seen. To my unconscious, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, I'm still seen. My parents still see me. My dad's bullying me for my weight, but he sees me. And then my unconscious was like bullying his love because he's seeing me. Wow. Yeah, I can see it.
Any attention is better than no attention.
When I am seen, I'm bullied. And when I want to be loved, I'm not seen. It's like, ouch.
And then as I got older in high school, it's like the only way I get noticed is in a negative light.
Yeah. They
So
see
that's
me
why all
in
the
a negative
bullying
light.
came.
Yeah.
And that's why all the bullying came and all the because at least they see me even though it's negative.
That's right. I want them to see me. Yeah. Ugh. Pattern. Like
It
these loops, these structures.
it doesn't matter how much it hurts, how much bullying I get, they're seeing me.
Yep. Yep.
And my unconscious mind is like it's still love,
Yep.
which is really strange. Like
Very strange.
negativity is love.
Mhm.
I'm only loved when I get bullied. I only get seen when it's in a negative way. And that's why I've attracted all the negative circumstances because deep down I just want to be loved.
wow,
Mhm.
that's so interesting because for me, it's the opposite, right? To be seen, like, I put like body mass, right? And that's when like people are like, whoa, oh, you must work out, right? Now I was seen. not by losing it, right? But for you, it's the completely opposite. Wow, I love that.
It's different from
Give-
my dad because my dad didn't see me at all. And then when I started losing body fat, he saw me and he started bullying me. But like he sees me, my dad still sees me, I'm still seen by the masculine. And then that's where the pattern started with my dad. Because before that, when I was a bit chubby, he just completely ignored me. Then when I lost the weight, he bullied me about my weight and appearance, but he still noticed me. I was like, he sees me.
And being bullied as a kid, if you don't know what's good and what's bad, you think it's good, right? Like you've been seen.
Yeah, because the only time my dad was seeing me as a child is when he would comment on my weight. That's the only time I felt seen by him, even if it was negative. It's the only time he saw me. But I'm choosing to let all this shit go now. But I also see that I am a teacher of compassion. Because I do know not everyone, but some people when they first meet me, they feel that resistance because of my weight. And I do feel that, like I feel when somebody say I meet someone, I can feel that resistance when they feel resistance to me. But then when they talk to me and they actually see who I am, it like puts them into the heart space and they turn the judgment into compassion. I really felt that during when I went to conscious camp. So what came to me during conscious camp is I'm a teacher of compassion, and I help people to move into the heart and out of judgment. And I do that by showing people my inner beauty. Like they judge me when they first see me, but then when they actually get to know me and see my heart and they see the inner beauty, they move into compassion. So yeah, I feel like I'm a teacher of compassion. And that's why I chose it all. There's a bigger purpose behind it all.
You create it all, eh?
Like there's this guy that I met during an event. He's on my Facebook. And when I saw him, he gave me a hug. And when he gave me a hug, I felt the resistance. I felt it in my heart, this resistance. And then during the event, he actually saw my heart because I was speaking to people and I was just being myself. And then he came up to me and sat next to me and he actually gave me a cuddle and we really like hit it off. And then I went to Conscious Camp when he was there, and he kept like hugging me and being really loving towards me. And he said to another guy, "Oh, he's helping me come more into my heart space." And I realized in that moment, like that I just help people move into the heart. I help people feel compassion and to move into the heart. And that's why he was giving me all the cuddles, because he said I was helping him move into his heart space.
You are their permission slip. It's same thing with vulnerability, right? Because you share stories like that like they allow people to share with you as well, right? But if you don't open first, people don't feel safe to do it.
Yeah, because I'm vulnerable, it allows others to feel safe to be vulnerable. That's why I
Yeah.
uploaded a photo, like the photo I uploaded, like was skinny dipping. It was just because I wanted to show people that, like, just help people. Because I do have quite a few people on my Facebook with lipid history, and they've got like really severe body issues. So my intention of sharing it was to help them that you can overcome it. Because I've been there. I've been in a place where I wouldn't even show my arms because I was so anxious. And I just wanted to show people that you can move past it. Because I do have this love in my heart where I just wanna, yeah, hard to explain. I've been feeling it more and more, like this tingling in my chest and this love. It's just, yeah, it's hard to explain.
I love that you walk your talk. You know, you don't just talk about it. You're actually living it.
Like before I came to Earth, I was reading a textbook and I was like, I need to experience it, I need to live it. The textbook isn't doing anything. Thanks, guys. I can see the pattern now. I was a bit like, I couldn't see the pattern, but I do now, so thank you. Between health and love. So thank you.
Thank you for your vulnerability, Ian, for your demonstration of that today. And
So Jesse's gonna go do yard work naked.
shit, I'll do anything to get laid. Whatever it takes. Yes, dear. Those damn sexual desires.
You animal. Uh, no, but even though like you said like you do a speech naked, like even taking a step towards it, but not being like, say, in public, like be like, oh, can I do a speech like in front of a mirror? Right? Can I do and see how it feels? Right? Because for me, like for the longest time, like I couldn't hear my voice. I didn't like the way I hear the way I sound. So for me, like to take a video of myself, like, no way. Right? So that's where I start.
I've been doing that too. And I got to the point where like I was in the mirror and I could see my ass. Oh, I've actually got a nice little ass and smacking it.
Uh, oh, it feels good. I don't need anybody like to smack my ass. I can smack my own.
What's happening with that, right? Is like we're looking at it and we're saying, oh, we're making it up to be like this. It's coming to this point, and we say, oh, well, we're fixing that, and what we're saying, like not fixed, but like like permanent, like making it fixed. And what we're saying is like, oh, wait, no, look, what if I did it over here? That would be somewhat the same, right? That would be kind of the same thing. Not exactly, but kind of. And your
Mhm.
body, like your unconscious says, oh yeah, it is. And so we're able to let go a piece of it, right? And
Yeah.
move into it and be like, oh, well, look, that was just as bad as I thought it was, or maybe not as bad, but it's like, oh, so we move through it, right? We don't let it stand in our way.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well said. Yeah, I think Chrissy talks a bit about that. Like instead than chipping the whole rock, like just chip a little piece, right? Chip a little piece, chip a little piece.
Like make a crack. That's all, like just a
Yeah,
crack. Because
yeah.
when the water can get into that crack, it can erode that rock.
Hmm.
I feel the shift for me has been like I know there's nothing to do with me anymore. Say that picture on Facebook, somebody commenting a negative. I know that's nothing to do with me because I know it's something within them.
Yep.
I know someone who loves and accepts themselves. They don't feel the need to put others down. They lift others up. So I know if somebody did comment or somebody did say something, it's a reflection of them. And it's just showing me that they don't love themselves.
Hmm.
Whereas before I would take it personal and be like, I'm disgusting or whatever. But
Yep.
now it's like it's nothing to do with me, it's them. They just don't like themselves.
Yeah, they
So
just
well
show their
said.
So
cards.
that's the shift.
Yeah.
Not taking it personal.
Yeah. Yep. God, well said, Ian.
Because people who love and like themselves, they don't want to put others down. They want to lift them up,
That's right.
you know.
Yep.
They want to keep
Oh God,
everything the same, right?
mm. It's like, wow, you must really hate yourself to comment that. Oh well, I'll move on.
It, you kind of you're there and it's like, well, you're open to help, but you're not going to jump into their area and try and fix it because they are taking it personal. And it's like, that's for
Hmm.
you to see. I've done my work on it, yeah. But I'm here to help too, because that's what love is. Love is like, if you ask, without a doubt, would I help? But you just put me down negatively, right? It's like, I don't think you're open for it.
They're just like mirroring back to them the love they don't have in themselves.
That's right. All it is. And then in reality, they can't even see that it's love. Because all they see is the judgment and the hate that they just put in front of them. That's all they see. It's that pattern that makes them feel better, right? Ian, it's that bully. That bully does it, and like because they think it makes them feel better, which it might. Like it might give it, it's like sex has that moment of pleasure. God damn, do I enjoy it? Those addictions we talked about, Pascal. It's like
Right.
hell yes.
Yeah.
Don't want to be, but I am.
Short-lived pleasure, right?
And then if I don't get it, I'm not loved.
Right. Yeah.
Silly.
I feel like at the moment that's been the biggest shift. And I'm just learning to come within and give the love to myself. Like
Big shift.
the love
Well said.
the love in my heart, that's the only and I can just give it to myself. And anything outside is just a bonus. That's where I'm moving to. I wouldn't say I'm fully there, but I'd say I'm 70% in terms of like coming within and giving a love to myself from my own heart. It's like sometimes I feel like because I get like, what do I do with all this love? Because I feel a lot in my heart, and it's like, just give it to myself instead of looking outside. The love I'm feeling in my heart, give it to myself, and then whatever I've got left over, the overflow, give it to others.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would like to meet someone. Yeah, I would like a partner, but I'm just at a point now where if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I've got my own love.
You're just beginning to be open to it in a whole different, in the way you've always wanted.
And I have noticed now a big shift in terms of I used to attract negative people, but now I don't. I'm attracting people that are of love and more high vibrational. I've really noticed it. Like negative people are quite repulsed by me now. Like my neighbor, he used to talk to me, and I saw him and he couldn't even look at me. I said hi, and he said hi, and it's like he couldn't even look at me. It's like I repulse the people that are really negative now, whereas
Mm.
before I was attracting.
And why do you think that is?
Because I'm loving myself and I'm shining more and I'm being more authentic.
Bingo.
It's like that my shine, because I do feel like my vibration has gone a lot higher and I do feel really light most of the time now. So it's like my heart, my light is like repulsing them. Whereas before they could just see all like the distortions and not liking myself, not loving myself, that bullying is love, negativity is love. So there's been a shift.
They were just reflecting what you have inside of you.
Mm. Like when I went to conscious camp, I was nothing but my true authentic self. And my friend that I went with, Chris, he was like, everyone really loves you. And it was really shocking. I was like, I've never experienced that before. But I was just nothing but my true authentic self.
and you see how you are no longer fulfilling their pattern. It's like the bully's pattern. You no longer are being that the other end of it, right? The one side of it. You're not no longer there. It's like, oh, okay, amazing.
Even my niece, when she said, "Thanks for being a light in so much darkness," it was just like, whoa. Yeah.
That's the biggest compliment right there.
Because my family are quite dark, like, yeah, so no judgment towards them. I love them, but yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Ian, I was just thinking the same thing. Ian, I love you.
Yeah,
And
love you guys.
always loved your heart.
Yeah. Synchronicity.
Yeah, together, gathering.
I want to ask you something, Jesse, because when I first started these calls, I wasn't in the best place, like with all the conditioning and stuff. How did you see the heart through all that?
I don't know. It was the sense that I got from the very beginning. And I think it was because of my judgment. Because I've been part of the bully before, right? Not that I was really a bully, but I saw a version of me in it in my hate. And not that I really hated people, I was just angry that people couldn't or wouldn't see me, right? So, I don't know, Ian, it was just that was what I saw from the get-go, and so I went with it. It's just the sense, it was the essence of you that was always deep in there. But I also could I could feel, I could sense, and it's like we all have versions of it, right? But it was like, oh, there's just what we can't see ourselves, others can sometimes see for us. And that's the help we are for each other.
Yeah, I couldn't see it within myself at that point. So thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, you showed up. So thank you. Like I honor that. Because we can either stay in it or we can change it. And it's like, I mean, your whole conversation today was seeing it and changing it for Ian.
That's creation.
Isn't it? And it's like, and for me too, it's like there's no way would I sit on a call and tell other men that I love them. Like, that wouldn't have happened for me before.
I
It's
know,
like,
eh?
I don't. It's like I don't feel the same resistance anymore because love is different for me now.
Yeah, it has a different meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not hoarding it, or I'm not trying to like scarcity. I'm not being scarce with it. I'm not trying to like judge where I'm going to divvy it out. Like my love's that special, right? And I'm still learning. I'm not any good at it yet.
I felt that shift too because before maybe 5 years ago, a bit longer, I would always make love sexual.
Yeah.
But now it's like I don't anymore. Like when we went skinny dipping, there was no sexual energy. It was just the energy wasn't there. The sexual energy. I seen people naked. There was no sexual energy there. It was a completely different energy and completely different vibration. Whereas before, I would have been looking like, ooh, you know what I mean? It was just completely different energy.
Ooh, ooh.
I mean, we are animals with sexual desires. I mean, let's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm not going to argue that one bit.
I'm
Taking a
still
quick
ooh,
glimpse of
but
them
like
turning
I
away.
keep it inside. You know, I'm still ooh, but I keep it inside.
It's just a completely different energy. Like, yeah, it didn't feel the same.
Right.
Yeah, take a quick glimpse and turn away, but it didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
And see, that's what happens when we begin to experiment with it, right? And play and like really find out what part of it is us. And it's like, yes, it's on the edges of love, right? But it's only a piece, it's only a part of it. There's so many more pieces that make up love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a broad spectrum now.
Yes.
As we expand, right?
As
Like,
yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, what a great morning. I love you all. Thank you so much. I've got to get
oh,
going.
you said
You gonna do
love you
more?
twice.
I did.
Holy.
Look at that. Look at that. Just expressing how I feel about you guys and how much of a joy it is to start my day with each of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel exactly the same. I love you
Thank,
guys.
love you too.
Have a hug.
All right. You guys have a great
Bye.
day. Till
Take
next
care.
time.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.